You know, Monica, this guy built his own studio, or got someone to build him a studio. He said he was bringing the glory of Hollywood to Michigan. Well, I'm going to bring him a little Michigan glory. He gets the leading role in The Hall of Shame. You're a movie guy? Ooh, I'm trying to talk to Calvin Perry, big-time movie wannabe.
If you want to set up a time, I'd be happy to get with you on it.
You'll have your people call my people line. Very Hollywood.
There's no business like show business.
This make-believe movie mogul's been in the spotlight, announcing million-dollar deals and making big promises. Do you have a movie background? Mr. Hollywood may never get a star on the Walk of Fame, but he will get top billing in the Hall of Shame.
The big shot, the president. I have this, I have that. Well, everybody he's worked with is gone. The movies are gone.
This is Michael, owns a local construction company. He and his partner Marcel thought they'd hit the big time when they were hired to build a movie studio. Hired by the head of Parallax Productions, Calvin Perry.
Talked a good talk. I'll tell you this, he's a very, very smooth talker, and he's a very convincing individual.
Calvin had convinced them he was a movie guy, had a bunch of film deals already lined up. And with all the hoopla about Tinseltown coming to D-Town, they thought they were getting in on the ground floor of Michigan's latest boom, the movie biz.
So you guys are out 80 grand. Over 80,000 out of pocket.
For months, they worked building editing suites and studio rooms while Calvin Perry was out doing press. And it looked good. A $60 million deal with Newcastle Entertainment made headlines.
He told me that he had this big movie coming to town and to relax, and he's no problem. He's going to pay me. I'm going to get the build out. Everything's great.
The guys say they finished the work in April, had Calvin sign off on it, and expected the movies and the money to start rolling in. Neither did. Calvin's lawyer says the contractor's money isn't yet due, but the builders filed suit.
I've gotten absolutely zero response from Calvin.
The bottom line is, you know, you can say one thing, but your actions say it all.
Lauren worked for Parallax. She was excited by the glamour of the movie biz. She spoke on the phone with producers and directors, but after a while, that thrill wore off and she demanded some money. She says this is the only paycheck Calvin gave her for almost 5 months of work.
I don't know how a person can live with themselves knowing that they owe not just one person but multiple people money and no effort to make it right. It just, I can't relate to a person like that.
Lauren walked out, and a few months later, looks like everyone else did too. Parallax Studios is barren. Hey, what happened to the $60 million deal, the movies, the money?
He was officially evicted.
Jim Leggett says he was Calvin Perry's partner.
It was a big mess. There's a whole bunch of things that happened, you know, just a bunch of stuff.
Is it Calvin's fault?
I think he, because of his lack of working in this business, maybe by default.
See, I talked to these guys that built your studios there.
Oh, you're talking to advanced building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they did a bunch of work, and they said that Calvin stiffed them. 80 grand, something like that.
Yeah, I think it was like 96 or something.
But good old Jim's not going to let it bother him. He didn't sign the papers. Calvin did.
You know what? I'm an engineer, okay? I do stuff. I'm just trying to move on.
Ah, that's good, Jim. Don't want you losing any sleep over it. Like the guys who say they're owed money.
It's hurt. I mean, I have a wife and 2 kids. My partner has a wife and a daughter. The guys that work for me. It's hurt.
So who is Calvin Perry? Seems Mr. Hollywood is more like Mr. Houston. He's not from California. He's from Texas. According to Calvin's LinkedIn page, he's currently the CEO at Parallax Productions. You know, the empty building. He's also owner of the Rim Holding Group. Where's that? Well, it used to be here in Bloomfield Hills, but the building manager says Calvin's long gone. And I guess so is the money in the company bank account. Wells Fargo Leasing tried to garnish Rim Holding last summer, and the account was overdrawn. Seems Calvin was sued for $34,000 for leasing a bunch of equipment for his Rim company and breached his contract. Calvin must have done something right. He does live in a fancy pants house in Bloomfield Hills. And one day while driving by, he heads right off to the local Kinko's. There's Mr. Movie. boxing up videotapes. Time for me to make my screen debut. How you doing? Rob Walchuk from Fox 2. You're a movie guy?
No.
You're not?
No.
You're not associated with that Parallax Studios?
No, we used to be.
Yeah. What happened with that place? We just went by there looking for you, and the place is empty.
Well, you know, it's a change of business direction, so.
Yeah. What kind of business? What kind of change?
You know, if you want to set up a time, I'd be happy to get with you on it.
Okay. Well, I talked to these construction guys, and they say you owe them a whole bunch of money on it.
No.
You don't?
No.
You don't owe them like $80,000?
No. No.
Well, you came into town as a movie guy. Don't you have do you have a movie background? Calvin never answers. Maybe like his partner, Mr. Movie, is ready to move on. Well, can you answer some questions for me? Well, Calvin, I thought you were going to talk to me, man. How am I supposed to set up a time with you if you don't give me your phone number or anything? Well, Calvin, like they say in Hollywood, that's a wrap. You're in the Hall of Shame. I got a couple of emails from Jason Weinstein of Newcastle Entertainment. He says they did have an agreement with Parallax Productions, but because of Calvin Perry's current financial challenges, had to take their business elsewhere. Calvin, like they say in the movies, that's showbiz.